Yes. There it is. All right, guys, we are live. It is Tuesday, a little bit afternoon, and we're keeping to our standard of not being on time. We have Tanner Kielty and his team with RJ Kielty Heating, Plumbing, and Cooling in the house. Kayla and Lindsay,
hello.
Usual.
Happy to be here.
Well, I think that we have a lot to talk about today. There's a lot of important events coming up. But first, let's kind of touch on your business. You guys have been celebrating 50 years in business. For the last couple months. I've been seeing a lot about it on social media and doing a lot of special things. So tell us about, what you've been doing, any type of special deals that you have going on right now, just really how your family got started into plumbing is what you started off with first, right?
Yep.
So I'll leave the floor over to you.
All right. Well, started again 50 years ago. My dad was literally the epitome of the American dream. He was one of 7 greats to help feed his family. He was born in North Dakota. He came down here after school. He worked for another plumbing contractor. When he was 23, he went on his own. And he first started actually in a mobile home. For his desk, it was his table or his desk was basically a door being held up by cinder blocks. Wow. And then now we have 220 employees, 3 locations, and we service basically basically West Central Florida. So from Newport Richey, our office, to Brandon to Orlando. So it's really grown. We've done it. My dad's done it. All of us have done it through ethics. So we just make sure we always do the right thing for the customer, and we're always on the forefront of innovation, whether it be the way that our systems are, our processes, procedures, technology. We always want to be on the forefront of everything and grow from there.
So I feel like you guys have you're a pretty large company, but you guys still have that small business and family, family, community values, which is great. I went to school with you and your brother, and so I remember your family being plumbers when I was in school, but I never really knew the ins and outs of everything. And just as a personal note, I think it's just so great to see your family doing so well and growing. And, I love seeing the trucks on the road because they're everywhere and they always have a fun wrap. And it's just really, really great. And
I love what you do with the wraps. You wrap all your box trucks in,
nonprofits.
That's so cool.
Yes, we have Marjorie's Hope. Shout out to Debbie. Tammy up Kitty up Ranch, just amazing. We try to pick local companies, people that are doing the right things for our community,
right? Versus
larger charities. We want it to really be honed in on our community. So, and then we throughout the year we try to help them, and then once a month we pick a different charity to help support them. So our community has supported us for over 50 years. So it's our job, our obligation to help support them.
Yeah, I think that's great. I love it. I love everything about it.
Thank you. And we do a lot of stuff behind the scenes. We've been kind of getting out from behind the scenes a little bit, but we kind of if you know us, the Kieltys, we like to just help people. We don't need a pat in the back or anything like that. We just want to help. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. So when you guys, how long did you do plumbing, just strictly plumbing? And then how did you morph, I guess, for lack of better terms, into the HVAC realm, I guess?
Okay. So, I grew up in the company. We went to River Ridge together. I went to Florida State after. That was we were very focused on new construction plumbing. That was probably 95+% of our business, which was during that time was pretty lucrative, 2005 plus, but then we obviously had that great, recession. So I was helping my dad, trying to help him innovate websites, logo changes, marketing, stuff like that. Once I got done with college, I said, hey, we need to diversify more. We had a small service division. Let's focus on that. So we helped build that service division up. And then there was a lot of opportunity in the commercial field. So a lot of the high rises in both Tampa and St. Pete, we remodeled a lot of those. Then we did a lot of commercial buildings, actually pretty much all the hurricane centers in the area. We did a lot of that stuff. We did stuff at McDonald Air Force Base. So we really diversified into commercial. At that same time, continued to grow all of our divisions. And then, I guess, I don't know if we got bored or whatnot, but we said, hey, let's, we're already in these customers' homes. We're doing a great job for us. They trust us. Let's start and build a HVAC department. So we did that. I think we're in like 11 years now, and that's really, really grown for us. And our basically what roadmap business plan is, we want to make that 50% of our business. So we're going to keep pushing, and it's all about, when you're growing a business, it's about finding the right people.
Mm-hmm.
So that took a little bit to find the right people. Now we have had great people that have been with us for a long time on the HVAC side. So we found the right people, and we're able to continue to grow.
That's great. How did you, when you started to say, like, let's go into HVAC, did you find people that were not already in your company and brought in those people to help teach everybody? Or did you have certain individuals within the company already that said, hey, I want to volunteer, I need to learn this, and I'll help, teach others? How did that happen?
So I'd say it's like a hybrid. So we had at first we had our plumbing estimator helping with the HVAC side. He had all the connections with the builders. John Herbert was our general manager for 40 years. He kind of stepped up on the HVAC side to help manage that. Then we also brought in Bob Morgan, who ran Airtron. He's been doing HVAC for 60 years, forever. Okay. So he was one of the largest contractors, helped run one of the largest contractors in Florida. So we brought him in as a manager. We brought in different supervisors that had a lot of experience. But what I'd like to do as a company, as a new division, you have to find new people that, are experts in that. But I would say as a company as a whole, 95+% of our people that are managers now, or even probably more than almost 100, have all grown up through the field. So I'm a big proponent of finding out what, when we hire somebody, what is their long-term goals, and then setting a roadmap for that person to, hopefully be a lead, a supervisor, a manager. It's pretty much opportunities are endless, or grow another division or whatever.
Yeah. So that way it's not like a turn and burn type thing, and you have employees that essentially are like family, So.
I think it gives the wrong notion to hire a bunch of people in from other firms when you have potentially could cultivate and you have quality people. So.
Yeah. And I'm sure your employees really appreciate that, because we all hear how some other companies operate, and it's usually not like that. So that's really, really great. Do you have any questions yet? And I feel like I've been talking this whole time.
Fine. One of my questions was what does your day-to-day routine for yourself look like? Are you more of operational, or if a call comes in, are you ever the person to be out in the field with them, or what does that look like for you every day?
So my life has been kind of turned around. There's a lot of people know I'm building a house, so I've been trying to manage that project too, trying to get done hopefully this weekend. I'll be able to move in. Hopefully that's the plan. So, but typically, just from personal on to, work, I like to work out in the morning and then come into work. And then I like to have a little bit of alone time and at least go through all my emails, kind of set up a plan for the day. I'm very operational, but these guys will know, if we got to make a phone call, if we have an unhappy customer for whatever reason, we're going to do whatever we can to make them happy. So if I got to get on a call, if I got to visit a job, whatever, I'll do that just to make sure that everybody's happy. But day to day, I'm talking to a bunch of people in our organization. They kind of fall on me to, help them. I give them full power to make decisions, but sometimes they just want to, run stuff through me. So
make that extra call.
Sometimes you need to just talk it through with somebody.
Right.
So I get that. We've had many of those conversations.
So I'm like the fireman, and if there's issues, but I always like to, and I think my guys can attest to it, I always say, hey, well, what's the solution? come with me with a solution. Don't come with me with a problem. And then I'll see if that's the best solution or we can work together on that solution if there is a better solution. But
Hear them out.
yeah,
Mhm.
don't just come with me with problems and just, throw monkeys on everybody's backs. You know what I mean? We're all in this together. So just come with me with solutions and we'll figure it out together.
Yeah. Give them the opportunity to figure it out themselves, or just almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Like reassure. Yes. Reassure that they're on the right path. So
Yeah, so one of the things, real quick, I just don't want to forget this. One of the things that we've been really working on is standard operating procedures. So going through and just having like a step-by-step business playbook per function of the company, just so people can make those decisions. They know our expectations. They know, hey, if there's this problem, here's the solution. And then I'm real big on, okay, we figured that out. Put that in your SOP so that we have it. So everything's black and white, so people aren't asking the same questions over and over again.
yeah, that makes sense. Now, was it always your plan, like going through school and everything with your parents running a small business? Were you always like, okay, I'm getting into the family business, I'm getting into plumbing, or was there anything in your sights that you were like, I might or I might not?
So I've actually, for me, I went to school for entrepreneurship. I went to Jim Rand Institute at Florida State. And for me, like, I just love running business. I love doing different things every day too. I don't like just doing the same thing every single day. Just, to me, that doesn't excite me. So I like running business. I don't mind fixing problems and stuff like that. I love growth. I'm not the kind of person who wants to do the same things over and over again. I'm probably like an overchanger. So anything like that, I love. Honestly, I love real estate. I love personal finance. A lot of stuff. My family is really big in real estate and personal finance and saving for themselves, and then also trying to pass those same beliefs and help our employees with that kind of stuff.
That's great.
Yeah.
I was just actually saying, I was with my family at dinner, and they were my dad, kind of runs his own business. He delivers bread to the stores. So, and then my mom works at an office, and I just looked at him and go, guys, like, I don't think I could ever go back to like sitting at an office and just doing the same thing like week after week. I'm like, I don't think I could ever do that again.
I get stuck. I'm like, I cannot wait. I got break free. I gotta get out.
Yeah. So
you can get stuck sitting there and, at the computer working,
Right. But every day is different. And it's really, a big thing in real estate and, in our industry, and of course with yours as well, it's problem solving, every day, because every job is different. Every transaction is different. Every house is different. Every mortgage is different. So it's like all day long, there is no, at least for us, there is no like standard black and white sheet for every different scenario, because for us personally, we've dealt with a lot of really brand new stuff this year and scenarios. And, and Lindsay, you've been doing this for over 20 years. And
25. Yeah.
And we've, sometimes called each other and been like, okay.
I don't know where this came from, but okay. Sure.
All right. And, but you get through it. I mean, and that's what happens. I'm sure still to this day, you see different scenarios and things that pop up that you're like,
You can have like a skeleton, but you don't know what the pieces are that fill it in, and
right.
Trying to, come up with a game plan. And sometimes there's things that you don't know that are going to come up, and you're like, okay, left, let's try again.
Yeah, same thing. I got to be like I don't have to be an expert in every function of business, but I have to know what I'm talking about, so whether it's we're billing a new construction, builder, or we're talking about service, or we're talking about marketing, we're talking about collecting money, you have to really expand your brain and be able to learn and digest, and get it done. So
educate yourself so you can educate others.
Correct.
We
then
firmly believe education is key for no matter what business you're in.
Everything. And then just good communication, across all levels. I don't care what industry you're in, it's so important, especially when you're, we're technically, but not technically in the customer service hospitality industry. We have to communicate with our customers and our clients and let them know what's going on, good or bad, and it's not always a
Nope.
white picket fence scenario, and we have to deal with that. And I truly feel like, and I'm sure you would agree, that the customers almost all the time appreciate the honesty, the communication, the upfrontness, of any type of scenario. So, it's just the nature of our business.
It pays to be direct with people.
It does.
Just take care of the problem. Say, here's the problems, and here's what we're going to work on solutions. We want to be upfront with you, and just one by one,
right,
figure it out.
100%. It happens all the time. Whenever we have a contract, and inspection periods are always everybody's favorite. I know that you guys get calls all the time. I send people to you guys to go out and either look at a sewer line or, fix a plumbing leak or a toilet, just whatever it is, so
last
it's
minute.
it needs to be done right now.
Yep.
It needs to be done right now. It's always last minute, and it's crazy.
Yeah. That's what I understand. Some businesses, like, they can put stuff off for so long. Us, it's just like, you've got to get it done. What I mean? So we have that mindset in that, all the way from taking the phone call to getting the guy out there, like, hey, we've got to get it done because people have an active leak, or people are trying to close on a house. People have no air conditioning. It's, our business needs to be ran like, is a priority, is emergency. Let's go.
Right. Do you prioritize certain things over other jobs, or reschedule if, like in the event of an emergency that comes up?
Yeah. So our software is really cool. So when somebody calls in, it's actually, if you're a current customer, it's actually going to pop up with your name, your address. It's going to go over, you can pull up the information, all the extra jobs, even if they owe us money, you know what I'm saying? It's going to pop up. And then, once we go to schedule it, we have a huge dispatch board, but it actually can pull the people. Say you picked out the person needs a duct cleaning. It's going to pull up the people that have that skill that we add to everybody, that has a duct cleaning skill. So we can say, okay, this person is not a high priority job, but it's a duct cleaning job. The same thing, it's a no cool, it's an emergency, it's an older person. We can flag that as emergency, and it'll pop up as a priority, on our dispatch board. So it's a juggling act every day. Our dispatchers, shout out to you guys. They do an amazing job just juggling that all day long. Jobs and take longer than they're supposed to. Some jobs are quicker than they're supposed to, and they're just all day long as doing logistics. So
now, do you have like a 24-hour emergency line for both HVAC and for plumbing?
Yep.
Okay.
We have a lady that answers the phone calls, and she'll do go through that same process. She'll make sure if it's an emergency, we'll get out to you guys and take care of it for you. So, and all of our guys know it's, they pick the profession, plumbing, HVAC, and then they pick service. So like you've got to be available 24/7, 365 to, help people that are in need. So
yeah, I can't imagine right now. I see it all over social media. Everybody's ACs are going out because it is just so ungodly hot. Yeah. So I would imagine you're inundated with calls and messages like help.
Yeah.
So, do you see like that every summer when it gets so hot out? And is this year, because I think we can all agree this is probably the hottest year, and I heard it was a record high ever. Are you seeing a larger influx of that right now this summer, or is it kind of hard to tell the difference? It's just summer is just crazy in general.
Summer is just always just so crazy for us. It's like on the plumbing side, it's fairly level. When the snowbirds come into town, we get an uptick, maybe 10%. On the HVAC side, Tom has to juggle that the opposite way, where it's just in the summertime, you see a 30, 40 plus 50% uptick, and the guys go from working 30 hours a week to 70, 80 hours a week sometimes. So, and the one thing I want to say, just so I don't forget, is our guys are out there, and it's, extremely hot. They're in attics that are over 150 degrees, whether they're doing a service call or doing an install, which they're there up there every day. So, just be respectful for all tradesmen, guys mowing your lawn, electricians, whoever's outside, they may seem like they could have already changed their shirt 5 times before they've been to your house because they've sweated so much. So just wanted to give all the tradespeople a shout out. It's just, I was reading that this has been a record in Florida by over 4 degrees or something like that, this year. So,
yeah,
we just RJ Kielty. We just appreciate AR guys, but all the guys that are doing that, and women. We actually had the first journey woman in Florida that worked for us, and she worked for us for 35 years. I wanted to mention that.
Wow.
Yeah, Jan,
Oh, cool.
she was
That's cool.
incredible too.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to train under here. So, she was incredible. So Jan, if you're watching this, appreciate you.
Yeah, I mean, it is like you said, ungodly hot, and
Mhm.
I feel bad every time I have somebody that needs to go get like a duct cleaning, or if they have a duct issue or whatnot, they have to go up in the attic, and I'm like, sorry, do you want some ice? Like,
I saw a meme and I sent it to everybody, like on the HVAC side, it's like all day long they're in the hot, because by the time that they fix somebody's AC, they got to leave and go to the next one that doesn't have AC. So they're just hot all day long.
so they don't have time to cool down at all.
Yeah. So
In
we
the
try to
car on the way
hydrate
there.
them. Yeah. Yeah, we buy water by the pallets. We have our own ice machine and stuff that we let the guys get. It's just, this year has just been miserable for them. So
Yeah, I like
appreciate-
pack a cooler in my car when I go out and I have a lot of showings all day, and I've been leaving my car running, and I'm like, hopefully nobody steals it, but
That might be worth it.
So I've been doing the same thing too.
my clients are like, are you sure? I'm like, it is just too hot. I'm like,
I can take my keys and lock it, and it's still running.
well,
Can you do yours?
No, mine's
No,
not that.
mine either.
Mine's not that fancy.
I got a company
Sorry.
vehicle, so I didn't get that option either.
Sorry.
But I just risk it.
Yeah, I'm like, well, worst case scenario, I'm like, I've been paying insurance on it. It's paid off.
You mentioned you wanted a new car at some point in
Right.
time too.
So
That's
if
the way to
anyone
do it.
sees my car out there, I don't want you to steal it, but
My insurance
happens.
agents, close your eyes.
yeah, if it happens, like it happens.
Oh,
But
funny.
it's just, getting in and out of the vehicle. I just can't even imagine the guys that are going up into the attics. Like, I'm trying to show houses and I'm drenched in sweat. I'm like, this is very attractive. Like, and I don't have time to change my shirt or do anything like that. I don't bring an extra change of clothes because it's just like boom, boom, boom,
Next,
one to
yeah.
the next, and then another appointment or something else. So I pack a cooler and water and
You have
because
to.
yeah.
It's just, and I'm a sweater too. So
Right.
I step outside and I start sweating.
Well, and then like half of the houses, sometimes like the people don't have the AC running for one reason or the other, which is not good.
Yep, exactly.
I don't know why they're trying to sell a house and
You're not.
why is the AC off or why is the power off? We're not doing the house a
You're not pulling
justice.
moisture out of the air too. So
Yeah.
it's not good for your house.
Right. I would agree 100%. So sorry.
We just
for-
dropped off, so we're back.
No, we're back.
we're back.
Technical
Hey, guys.
technical difficulty.
The one we did drop.
Yeah. It's not my battery, so we're good.
No,
It's
I
just
think it was an internet connection or something. It popped up. I was trying to avoid it, but it was happening.
yeah.
Mm.
So here we are. We're back.
Yep. So I had like a little personal testimonial. So I had a problem with my upstairs air conditioning, and of course I called you guys, and I actually had to say that you were coming too soon. I'm like, no, I'm not going to be here. So
Yes, first.
yeah, usually it's the opposite way, but we worked it out. We were going playing sports over the weekend, and they were going to come on a Saturday morning.
Mhm.
Like, I thought that was incredible. Fortunately, it was the upstairs where we don't spend a lot of time. We are in the main part of my house, which was cool anyway. But a lot of people need that right now kind of
Mhm.
Mhm.
response, and I got it, and I had to decline. If somebody else can have that appointment, I'm good with Monday. But just a different scenario. I thought it was cool, of how quickly you guys were coming, and on a weekend.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
for
we're-
non-emergency, like it wasn't,
Mhm. Yeah, we're lucky to have, a fair amount of guys too. So like, you take that map of, Pasco County, Hernando, Hillsborough, Pinellas, and we have kind of guys that kind of stay in their little, so they could do, more work during the day. They stay in their little zones and we can kind of get the houses pretty quick, so lucky in that sense.
Yeah, your whole
Yeah.
process was great. I mean, even like an introduction, because the time that you came to the house, my girls were there, and I received a text message, and I think we talked about this before, but it was a description of a picture of who was coming to the house, actually personal likes, things that, you know, that they have in their own life and why they liked doing what they do. And anyway, so she's a grown child, but I could send her that, and she knew who was coming to the door. And you know, when they're younger, they don't have any talking points. They're going to stand there and stare at you, but she at least, right, it gives them something like, hey, you know, to have a conversation and not be so awkward of standing there and not knowing what to say. So I thought that was really great that, you know, you get that introduction and to know what they're looking, you know, who's at your door. Oh, that's who I'm waiting for. Yeah.
Right.
So that was.
Yeah, one of the really cool, or not cool things, one of the things that probably takes some of our talent pool away from us is like, or I know it does, is we're super stringent on, you know, background checks.
Yeah.
We do a sex offender check by third party, drug testing.
Yeah.
So they have to be able to be a safe driver and that kind of stuff. And if you don't qualify for any of those things, you're not gonna work for us. So we do a pretty good job with apprentices. We find that kind of person, you know, that's kind of fit in the Kielty way. We kind of build them up through that. But they all know, like, if there's any notches on anything, you just can't work for us. It's our name. So
Great.
And that's great because they're in people's houses.
Yeah.
You know, like,
And coming and greeting my children that are there by themselves, you know.
I always think my mom, my grandma, whoever, like, I want that same kind of respect for if they call somebody else out. So we make sure we do everything we can.
All right. I want to know what your little thing says. What do you like to do? We heard you say that you like to go to the gym. What do you like fishing? Do you like hunt? Like what do you do in your spare time?
This guy definitely doesn't like fishing.
I don't know.
All the pilots out there have to first say that I'm a pilot. That's the first thing you're supposed to say in your room when you're a pilot. No, but I love fishing. I love hunting. Me and my dad, my brothers will typically every 2 years we'll pick a place, and we'll go hunting somewhere. So we went above the Arctic Circle to Kotzebue, which is an Eskimo village.
Cool.
It was like a 2-hour flight north of that, and it was just us. No guide, no nothing. Us, a couple tents, and it seemed like grizzly bears. So there was a lot of grizzly bears. But I mean, the northern lights, like, to get out in nature just resets your mind.
Yeah.
We've gone to Canada, British Columbia, New Mexico, on an Indian reservation, hunting out there. That was really, really amazing.
That's some pretty cool memories with with you guys. Yeah.
I was able to take a elk, and just like the amount of respect that the guide I had with, he was Apache, and just their different rituals and stuff they do, you know. After that was like really, really cool. I love fishing. We go to the Keys every year. We eat lobster every year, but literally my whole life minus 1 year that I had to go to summer school at Florida State. And I'm a pilot, so I've been flying with my dad since I was like 10 years old. That he kind of showed me to fly. Then I had I wanted to get my license in high school, but, you know, just like any high schooler, I had, you know, other stuff that took priority. Went to school, got my plumbing and HVAC license, and I finally ran out of excuses. And my wife said, "Hey, just go do it. You've always wanted to do it." So I had an opportunity to do that, and me and my dad will fly different places and everything. So just creating a lot of memories. So
that's awesome.
Keys a lot. So that kind of stuff. But
it's my favorite place to go.
Flying. Yeah.
I've only been once, but
I need to go more.
I know. And we've never been lobstering, so I told Mike that we're gonna have to like hitchhike with you guys one time because we've never done it, and I know he really wants to, and I want to. So I'm definitely. Maybe next year.
I mean, there's all kinds of cool places in the world, but a memory for me is it was spontaneous. The kids were getting ready to go back to school. It's been years now, and we hadn't really done anything. We've done sports, and like they're literally going back to school in like 2 weeks, and we haven't really done anything. So spontaneously, we got in the car and we didn't book anything. We drove to the Keys and stopped along the way. We just stayed where we were. Got to experience, I don't know, many different like places, like all the different little islands or whatever as you're going. Isla Morada was amazing. We got to go to Robbie's and feed the tarpon. Like, I
That's
think that's
awesome.
just so cool. And it was a memory that we all will always remember, just because it was like last minute and there was no like,
Just fun.
yeah, oh, we'll find a hotel. We're going to stay here for the night, or, you know, just going and finding things to do in restaurants, and went all the way to the end and all the way back. And one of the best trips that I think my family and I have had.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah, we
it was
love
cool.
to be spontaneous, do
Yeah.
that same thing. Like, I don't have to have everything.
I can't fly there though, Tanner.
We'll go fly somewhere.
Sorry.
We're actually talking about with Reagan. We're actually talking about maybe doing a podcast in the year. So
Cool.
So I'm trying to get everything set up for that. So
All right.
I'll let
Right.
you guys on that.
All
So,
right.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be fun.
fly different places.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, you have a pretty big event coming up that I've seen on
Mhm.
social media, and you're doing a 50-year celebration,
Mhm.
and you're doing something for the community. Go figure.
Mhm.
You're doing a Touch a Truck event.
Mhm.
Tell us about that. Tell us when it is and what to expect, or
I've been
you
doing
know.
a lot of talking. I'll let Carol talk
All
about
right.
that.
Hello, Miss Carol.
We are doing our 50th anniversary Touch a Truck event. So what it is pretty much kind of like a car style show thing where we're gonna have a bunch of cool trucks. I think we have Jeeps, we have side-by-sides, we have a fire truck that's gonna be there, all these super cool decked out trucks. But it's a super family friendly event. A whole bunch of kids stuff will be there. We have a blow up, a super big monster blow up thing. Inflatable, what is it called again? Like
Yep.
a
Bounce
There we
house.
go.
Mhm.
And we're gonna have Giddy Up Ranch too. They're gonna have a petting zoo. So
Oh,
that
cool.
will be really fun. But we're just like really looking forward to like a big 50th anniversary celebration, because all of the proceeds too are going back to the Pasco County Health Department to support women who can't afford cervical exams or mammograms. So it's also like a giving back for breast cancer awareness event.
Mhm.
So we're really looking forward to that. It's October 7th. It's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And you can donate and you can vote for it, whichever truck is the coolest. And we'll get like a trophy or whatever that'll say you have the coolest truck.
Mhm.
But then all of that's where the proceeds will go to Pasco County Health Department. So we're just really looking forward to that. You know, it's a great way to get the whole community involved. Kids, there'll be a lot of stuff for them to do, but nothing cooler than in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, because I think we all have someone affected by that in our lives. So
We're all gonna be wearing our pink.
Mhm.
absolutely, we will.
Yeah. So my sister, and I'm sure a lot of people already know about this, but my sister, she's a survivor twice over from breast cancer. So she's in remission again, although she broke her foot passing out.
Oh,
But so we've done this for, prior to this, I mean, this is like our 10th or 11th event that we do for breast cancer. So it means a lot to us. Prior to that, my grandma, she was a survivor. My aunt's going through it right now. So, and
goodness.
everybody knows somebody that's touched by that. So, we want to do our part to create awareness and help people.
For sure. All right. October 7th,
Yes.
10
Mhm.
o'clock.
10 a.m. Bring your kids. We're gonna have food. We're gonna have vendors for the kids if they want anything cool. And like I said, we have a petting zoo. Come on. You have to come.
Yeah. If you guys know Tammy at Giddy Up Ranch, I mean, she just does amazing stuff for autistic kids.
Mhm.
So we really, really help support her. She's just, if you ever met her, she's like literally an angel. She's like the nicest person you can ever meet and doesn't want anything from you. I think the first time we were donating anything to her was like $25, and she was like literally came in and like gave us a hug. Like
Oh,
that kind of a person that she is. She is just literally an angel. So she's going to be there. She usually brings all kinds of different farm animals, have a petting zoo and stuff like that. So
awesome.
I'm sure Debbie with Marjorie's Hope, she'll show up. She also does amazing stuff in the community. So just going to be a fun event for kids, and we're going to have
A DJ.
monster trucks, a DJ
Mhm.
there.
It'll be
106
fun.
is going to be there. So it's just going to be a great event for kids, and then hopefully we make a bunch of money supporting
All right.
breast cancer awareness. So.
Awesome. We'll put all the info in the comments.
Mhm.
So make sure that everybody knows and
Yep.
can come
We'll
and
time
show
the
up.
event.
All right.
Yep.
And this
Cool.
is at your location?
Yes,
Yep.
at
Right?
RJ Kielty on Massachusetts Avenue.
Okay.
Yep, 7979 Massachusetts Avenue, Newport Richie.
Now the next event that you
Mhm.
guys are sponsoring is in the same month, later in the month, is
Yes.
Halloween.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this
Mhm.
is
That's October 27th and 28th. Yes.
Yep.
And this
Yep.
and this is the second year that you're the presenting sponsor, right?
Correct. Yep.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. That's very exciting. And this is what year
Four.
for year
Four.
4 for Halloween?
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah, we love Halloween. We kind of had our first taste last year. actually being in it, and we did Mario Brothers. So
It was awesome.
It was
Yeah.
really cool.
It was so fun.
I'm one of those weird people, the kids that like really actually try to scare the people. I got like a lot of good videos of scaring people. I think one of the touching things I heard, this is, most scare places are like, houses and stuff like that. But like a lot of times people in wheelchairs and stuff, they can't go through it. So, this is a drive-through. So,
Yeah.
those kids and adults, able to experience that. I think
I'll
is
never forget
huge.
the first year, that little girl. I can't even talk about it. I won't talk about it because I'll sit
Mhm.
here and get emotional, but it is very rewarding, and things, people that typically don't get to experience things like that are able to come, and it's really, really a great event. And I've been involved with it since day one, and I look forward to it every year. And it's a lot of work, but in the same
lot
breath,
of work,
very
yeah.
rewarding.
I know last year there was a whole bus that came through with an assisted living facility, and there
Yeah.
was a whole bunch
Ooh,
of people
that's
from the
cool.
community. It was really awesome.
Mhm.
So it's just great because you can bring your kids, and if they get scared, you just flash your lights, and
Yep.
everybody just
Yeah,
stops
they can
staring as
hide.
much
They can
for a
hide in the
second.
car.
So
Yep.
it's a super great interactive way, but also at the same time, again, family friendly. So
Mhm.
and for everybody, all inclusive.
Yeah. We're having computer problems on the one side. I don't know. The internet looks down.
It won't even connect to the internet over here. So
We might have to hotspot it or something.
yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like nonchalantly paying attention over here. I'm like, do you guys have anything special in store for this year to make it bigger, better, or just different than last year? Or do you not want to say too much? Just a couple hints, something.
We have horses, which I think is pretty cool.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah.
So this year, we're kind of moving up to the front. So where all the cars are kind of going to be lined up. So we're going to have I know we're going to have some really cool stuff up there. That's going to be different. So people are gonna
Surprises.
it's going to be really cool surprises. And VIP, they're even going to get crazier stuff. Somehow I get involved in stuff getting shot at me, but VIP tickets, there's also
Okay.
going to be some more surprises over there.
Okay. What
involved.
is VIP? What do you get with that?
So Carol
So
probably
with the
knows.
VIP, you pretty much get to skip the whole line, which is very awesome because
Okay.
as we know, sometimes it does take a little bit to get through the line because it is a pretty awesome event. So we have a lot of people attending and showing up, but you get to skip through the entire line, and then you also
If they're in separate line this year.
yeah,
Yep.
you have your own separate line. So you pretty much just pull right to the front, and then you get your little ticket and everything. You hand your ticket over, but you also get presented a super cool swag bag, which includes like a whole bunch of different offers from a whole bunch of different small businesses in the area. But you also get a T-shirt that says Halloween. You get candy. So it's just super cool because you pretty much just get VIP access. You get really cool specialties as VIP, and then also I think they get the free maze too this year, right? Because they're also having a gel blaster maze, which is what he was talking about. He's gonna
Okay.
get shot with the gel blaster.
So yeah, should be fun. I usually get during these charities events, I usually get pies thrown at me.
And you also get to go through as VIP. You get to
Perfect.
go through more than once if you want.
Yeah, you can go through multiple times.
Yeah.
And I
Again,
think
you get to skip the line.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you get to skip the line. You get to get out of your car this year and go do the experience.
Mhm.
So that'll
That'll
be pretty cool.
And
think
throw
that'll be
stuff
good.
at Tanner.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we
I'm
get to
used
sh-
it.
we get to
I'm
shoot
used
them.
to it.
Shoot
I
'em.
got some
Okay.
dunk tanks, throwing stuff at pies at my faces, the ice over my. I usually am the target. So go ahead.
You'll be the target again. Be the target. If anybody is interested in donating to any of those swag bags, we are always looking for candy. We're looking for advertisements for your company.
Any sort of swag materials that you guys have that you want to get your name out, even if, especially if you're a smaller business, you just started off, even if you're not, and you have a bunch of swag to give away. It's just a really good way to get your business, your brand in front of probably close to 10,000 people or
Yeah.
more.
We're
So,
still looking for sponsors. We're still looking for many, many volunteers. The more, the better.
especially if kids, high schoolers, and they need volunteer hours, this is a great way to earn them. So
Yeah, exactly.
And we do sign the paperwork for Bright Futures. So
Yeah.
any of the kids that are looking to get their volunteer hours for that will be able to have the
and your kids
paper
get to
signed.
dress up and scare people. I mean,
Yeah.
just put a mask on and nobody will know it's you. You can act as weird as you want.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the whole fun part about Halloween. You get to, act like somebody else or someone that you want to be or someone that you don't want to be if you're in like a.
I wish they had this in high school versus the hour we had to do,
Oh yeah. I think we're back, guys.
Well, you brought some friends with you today, and do you want to swap with Carol so we can? Yeah.
So excited.
These guys love doing this stuff, by the way. Beg me.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? What's your name?
I'm Tom.
You're
I'm
Tom.
Weber,
All right.
HVAC service manager
All right.
for our Kielty.
Cool. How long have you worked there?
8 years.
All right.
Started off being just a service tech and worked my way up to being a service manager.
Okay. And you like it, obviously. You've been there for 8 years. That's a pretty long time to keep a job.
Absolutely.
And
It's a great place to work. It is, like you guys were saying before, it is still family oriented.
Mhm.
You do feel like part of the family, not just another number.
somebody
I've worked
coming
for
in the door
corporations
and
before, and you're just a number. So.
Yeah. Not there. That's for sure.
No.
That's great. What actually do you do for HVAC? You're just the manager, or you go out to the homes as well, or what does your day-to-day routine look like?
Unfortunately, I don't have a set day-to-day routine. Just realistically, depends on what the morning offers. If we're extremely busy, I'll be out helping the guys run service calls. Of course, I try to do the more technical ones, the upset customers. You have to go out to them and help them and talk to them on the phone. Of course, paperwork and ordering equipment and helping the sales department out as well. Kind of wear a lot of hats, so you got to do a lot of things.
I kind of like that you don't like necessarily have your day-to-day routine, that you get involved. And when you work in corporate, everybody's got their little box that they stay in. Oh no, that's not my job. And that's one of the things that I do know about RJ Kielty is that they are a family run style business where you walk in the door and you're not a number, you're known by name, and everybody chips in. And
I don't get to sit in my office all day for 8 hours and look at the computer.
you're not pointing the finger of do this, do that, do that. Right.
I'm out there, I'm working right there next to my guys. If somebody calls in sick or whatever, I'll go help out. I'm doing an install or helping out doing service calls or whatever it takes. If I got to go pick up parts, I go run real quick and go pick up parts to get a customer going. Especially right now, you guys were talking earlier about how hot it is. It's service calls and ever since COVID, supply and demand on parts is just ridiculous. So
go to different places to get the stuff that you need, and
simple things that you would think would be readily available, like we were used to before, is now 6 weeks out. And you're like,
they can't wait 6 weeks.
I don't want to tell a customer, oh, thank you for buying this product from us 3 years ago, but now a part broke and it's 6 weeks out. You can't tell a customer.
Right.
You don't have air conditioning for 6 weeks.
Oh my
Sorry.
gosh.
So
Can you
A
imagine?
lot of juggling.
you got to figure out ways to get people air conditioning as quickly as possible.
We're calling supply houses in other states, and we're
Yeah.
working every sort of relationship, leveraging everything we can, because the customer doesn't care. They just want air conditioning. They don't really want to hear the problems, honestly. Just, hey, I need air conditioning. And there's a lot of moving parts behind the scenes. And I don't want to brag on Tom too much, but there's very few service managers that, if it's our guys are overbooked and we have a customer, maybe they've been Kielty's Cares Plan member for 5 years and they need air that day, Tom will strap his tool belt on and go out there and do it. So appreciate that. And then on the back end, he may be working till 8 o'clock at night. I've talked to Tom at 8 o'clock at night and he's still at the office, because you still have to do all those little office stuff. So.
See, there was a reason that he wanted you to come here. That's what he thinks of you.
Yeah, I guess
What's the Kielty Cares Plan?
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, light
Well,
bulb,
we
ding,
offer
ding,
it in both divisions, the plumbing and the HVAC. We come in there depending on the plans that you pick. There's multiple plans. I don't have them all written down in front of me, but there's multiple plans. But I would suggest, especially for HVAC, the 2 a year. We'll come out to your house, check over your complete system, make sure it's operating properly. big thing in Florida is drain lines.
Mhm.
Everybody has an air conditioner. They probably had their drain line back up on their condensate drain line. And
That was our problem.
That'll cut the unit off. It'll also, if your switches aren't working properly, it'll flood your ceiling if you have it up in the attic or whatever. Or even if it's on the second story, it'll flood down to the bottom story. It's just a very great thing, I think, to have preventative maintenance wise, to keep your house from flooding, to keep your house cooling, and just to know what may be starting to fail, or what is working perfect.
Is that with all customers, or like just new installations? And
No.
because you got a new install, you get the plan?
You do
or-
get it with one check a year with the new installation.
Mhm.
But any customer who calls can
and you
sign
kind
up
of
for
select
it.
the tier that you want.
Right, and the
Mhm.
plumbing, I think Jesse will probably end up talking about this a little bit later, but the plumbing one is a one a year, and it
Don't look at me.
it drains.
Oh, you're next.
It drains the water heater, and they check for plumbing leaks and make sure your toilet's not leaking and stuff like that as well. So
Yeah, on the HVAC side, kind of what Tom was saying, like drain lines are our number one call, and we don't mind going out there and helping you. But if you don't have to use this, if you could save money, kind of one of the tips I always want to tell everybody is just take vinegar once a month. When you change your filters, once a month.
That's what I was
Do
going to
it.
bring up, the
Change your
filters.
once a month. But just to do that, because that's one of our number one calls. Starving a unit, with dirty filters, another big no-no. You're just gonna kill your units. They're gonna work so much harder. They're not gonna be as efficient. You're gonna spend it.
stutter.
Yeah.
Well, funny enough.
She's like, you feel attacked.
Yeah.
No, it's not
Personally
anymore,
attacked.
but it was very much so. And
The simple thing about a filter is when it
I didn't know it was up there.
Wait a minute, AC units have filters?
I had all the filters for downstairs, and I don't know what to say. I didn't know it was
Chris?
up there.
Where's Chris at?
So I guess he had his own little stash of filters upstairs from before, but I guess I order the filters, and we usually do like Amazon or, just order them, have them, and stuff, stick them in the closet or whatever. And there was filters already up there, and I didn't know that there you even. That was my problem.
I'm crashing the podcast. Question.
Yes.
What is the difference between like cheaper filters that you will see at Depot or Lowe's versus like there's filters that are ridiculous amounts of money?
The MERV rating. Is,
Okay. Yeah. What is that?
The MERV rating is how dense the filter is.
Okay.
How much it's going to filter.
I can't wait for this answer because I've been
Yeah.
given so many different
Mhm.
answers. I'm
There-
ready. Let's go.
You guys can, and a lot of people they'll spend like this $40 on this filtrate filter, and it says 90-day filter on the side of it. 100% it does its job. It's an amazing filter, but the difference is in a very active house, you have dogs, you have kids, you have all this stuff. It's going to get dirty quicker because it's
Mhm.
filtering more of the dirt out of the air. Absolutely no way it'll last 90 days in an active house.
Yeah.
So then when it clogs up, then you have low airflow, your system freezes up, or the dirt gets through and starts dirtying up your coil. That'll clog up your drain line. That overamps your blower motor because it's trying to suck
it's
the
like
air through. It's just a domino effect.
Yeah.
It's
Hurts
like
your
the
Gosh,
first-
thickness
sounds like a nightmare.
of the filter.
I recommend like a MERV, anywhere between a MERV 4 and a MERV 8.
Is that like in the middle?
You'll see it on the filter. It'll say it's a pleated, but it's not like a real tight pleat. It's like a loose pleat.
So it still
And
has
you
the
change
airflow.
it every 30 days. I tell my customers every time you get an electric bill, change your filter.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a good way. That's
Yeah.
what I was going to ask you. In those in the Kielty Cares plan, do you have like options for that for maybe somebody that's older that needs their stuff taken care of or anything like that? No, maybe
For us, it's very hard to
30 days is
to bring a
long
filter
time.
every 30 days.
sure.
And there's so many different sizes of filters. You can't stock them all on a van.
Right.
So we will be happy to if we mark it and we know that customer needs that done.
Circumstantially, I guess.
Correct.
Mhm.
But if you have a filter there and our guys are there, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you have light bulbs that need to be changed, and our guys have ladders, have them change the light bulb. I tell my guys all the time, go the extra effort, please.
Awesome.
Mhm.
10 minutes there to save a customer. I mean, that's amazing. So
from the marketing department, if someone is 90 years or older, Tanner will come out himself and change the filter.
My grandma used to ask me all the time. I'll do it.
I have to check my Amazon subscribe and save
There you go.
Great.
for my
That'd be a good
filters.
idea.
Delivery.
Well,
Make
I
sure
did.
you've covered all of the filters in the house.
I have two, and I just changed them, and I'm like, you know what? I'm doing the subscribe and save, so that way it'll remind me because it's gonna come up, and then my Alexa thermostat and Google or whichever one it is. I don't know what one of these smart things. It always emails me all the time, and it's so annoying. It's like, change your air furnace filter, and I'm like, oh my god, I just did that. But they have those now, and I didn't even know that it started doing that. But I guess when you start going into all that technology, I don't even know, but it emails me.
A lot more technology nowadays.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So switch your thermostat.
Something simple like an air filter can change
Everything.
exactly. And it's absolutely amazing. It's the most neglected thing. People,
And it's
we go out
something
there all
that's
the
so
time. They're
simple.
like, oh, I change it every month, and
You pull-
No, you don't.
I'm sure it slipped through the cracks a couple times or people moving. You guys dealing with real estate and stuff. People moving, and they don't know where it is or what size.
They didn't know they had another one.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Some can have a 4-inch pleated filter that's in a different location.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of little ones.
and they've just been changing the ones that are up in the ceiling, and it could be double filtered. So there's a whole bunch of different scenarios.
All right.
Unfortunately, not every air conditioning is the exact same as the other one. So
Well, sometimes they have the air return up and like you have 14-foot ceilings and it's like right there at the top and you're like, okay, you have to climb up on a ladder. I don't want to get on a ladder that high.
I don't know why they put it up there.
Yeah, no, a lot of these
What we're
houses,
for.
they're
We have
they're there. My house, we have lower ceilings, so I just get like a step stool. So I just did like a little step up, so it's fine.
No, we see them all the time, vaulted ceiling.
You're like,
I'm like, I don't know who did that, but whatever.
It was probably your company when they built the house, but
Yep,
it's okay.
yeah,
We're not going to talk
exactly.
about it.
Not that one. Not that one.
All the other ones, but that one.
That one. Yep. Not that one.
So what's your number one for working at RJ Kielty? Absolute number one thing. Why you like working there? Why you like working there? Obviously you do. You've been there a minute.
Yeah. I don't know. I take it as it's my company. That's the way I look at it. And the guys that I have worked with me, just a lot of respect for them, getting up in the 150-degree attics and stuff, and just being able to have the camaraderie with the other managers and Tanner being the owner and stuff. And it's just,
Well,
yeah,
good.
I just don't feel like I'm a number. I feel like I'm part of something.
Yep.
So,
And I like your over and above attitude. So
Mhm.
thank you for all you do.
no problem.
All right. Who else we have here? We have Jesse.
He was hoping that
He's
if he
hiding in the
sunk down
corner.
a little bit more.
He's going to disappear. He might need some sunglasses. Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good.
We also support the CCA.
Yeah.
Brought a CCA hat.
I see
This
that.
past weekend.
What's your position?
I am the plumbing service manager for the company.
Okay. How long have you worked for RJ Kielty?
Going on 11 years.
All right. So you've been there a minute as well.
Yeah.
Where'd you start off?
I started off as a service tech for them. I was out in the field for a couple of years. Then Tanner offered me an opportunity to take over as their service manager. And that was almost 9 years ago now.
Mhm.
And we've grown leaps and bounds since then. I mean, it's Tanner's done a great job getting the company, really expanding what we're doing. We've picked up a lot of new technologies and really pushed that with our guys. A lot of extra training for the guys, so that we're staying at the forefront of all this new technology with the tankless water heaters and the hybrid water heaters, water treatment stuff. So it's really helped us really expand the service division.
All right. Do you like, what are those filters with the salt in them that are outside?
Yeah,
Like
water
the
softeners.
water softener
Yeah,
stuff? Do you do all of that?
Yeah.
Yes, we do a ton of them.
All right. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
need
I'm pretty
that.
well versed in that. I spent a lot of time before I worked at Kielty. That's all I did was water treatment for about 10 years.
I have one that's
So-
not even on, sitting in the garage. Doesn't even.
Well, you definitely need it. Trust me. Yeah, our water quality here. I mean, Jesse can testament to that more than me even. But like my last house, I had Fuga water, live in Sea Forest area, Gulf Harbors, and my water literally in 1 month was eating up my faucets. Like they were all turning white. I mean, just the water quality in Florida is very, very poor. But
Yeah,
you've seen probably a lot worse than stuff than us, but like you're doing yourself a disservice by not having a water softener, especially in Florida.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt all your fixtures. It's gonna hurt washers.
Yeah, I mean, anything that your water's
Yeah.
touching, from your faucets, your coffee pot, the water dispenser on your fridge. I mean, the number one killer of all that stuff is the calcium and the chlorine in the water.
Yeah.
So he puts the chlorine in to keep bacteria growth down. But then once it's into your house, now it's tearing up the O-rings and any of your rubbers is drying out, so causing all of that stuff to fail. I mean, really, because our water is so warm, they've got to put the chlorine in there. But once it gets to your house, you really don't want it in the water. I mean, obviously you're drinking it, you're showering with it.
Sure.
And if you test it with like a swimming pool test kit, it says it's ideal for a swimming pool. I probably shouldn't drink it in the water.
And hair, especially women, the difference with a water softener and your hair, taking that hardness out. It's
All right. I'll make a phone call.
This
Bye.
This is
Yeah.
a conversation I have with Mike all the time because I'm like, we need like a whole house system in it. Like the water is just horrible. Like I hate like a dirty house or anything. And like of course I switched everything to black fixtures. And so my
Oh, yeah,
shower
right.
head,
You see
it drives me so crazy.
See it all the buildup and stuff.
Yeah, you see the
Mhm.
buildup, and then there gets like an orange around the toilet, and then it's like in the shower and the grout, and it is just a nightmare to clean. And you can imagine if you just don't like seeing stuff like that in your house, and you want everything to be nice and orderly, it is just a pain in the butt. And the fridge, the water dispenser, I see it, I like look up underneath there, I'm like, oh. Like
It's supposed to be
it's-
filtered. Why does it still have that?
Well, I don't drink it
The
though.
filters that come on refrigerators really,
Crap.
they're a very minimal filter.
Yeah. So like I know like everything you said, I was like, okay, check. Okay, yes.
They're going to be at our house a lot.
No, and we were just having this conversation, I think like a week ago, because this is what's starting at turning point, because now the boat is starting to get some
Oh, yeah.
staining. So he's like, we might need to, and we have a white boat. He's like, we might need
Factor
to,
in.
we might need to get like I'm like, yes, we need a filter. I'm like, I will.
Oh, Jesse.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, we need this. I'm like, it's going to cost, whatever, I don't know how much it costs, but maybe a couple $1,000s, but it saves everything. Like if you have a fridge is not exactly cheap nowadays, your coffee, all of your fixtures, add all that up.
Your
And
Keurig, you look at that thing sometimes. Even with the filter, it's,
Right.
Clean
You're like,
ours.
I'm
We use
sick of that.
your vinegar trip
Just
is
don't
how we
even
do
look at
it.
it.
If your house is even a little bit older, when they were still plumbing everything with copper, I mean, now that calcium in the water is eating the copper, and we deal with pinholes in copper under slabs in houses on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Because that
And that's
the
a big
hard water will
problem.
just eat holes in it.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't own a house in Florida without a softener on it.
Right.
But I'm pretty funny about my water. And like you were talking about the fridge filters, I mean, my fridge has never seen anything but purified water because I have a separate system before the fridge. And the filter thing still goes off every 6 months. I'm like, well, I know that's BS because it's never seen anything but purified water. The filter's like brand new.
Yeah.
But they just want to sell you a filter, so they just set it on an auto timer
Mm-hmm.
to tell you that you need to change your filter.
Well, Mr. Jesse, you are being called out from Grady Kielty.
Never heard of them.
He would like you to talk about the new A.O. Smith hybrid water heaters and what rebates that are now being offered.
Yeah, they're doing a government rebate on them right now. It's $2,000
All right.
or up to $2,000.
30%, right? 30%,
Yeah, 30% of the job cost, the total job cost, not even just the cost of the heater.
What's a hybrid water heater?
It's a heat pump on top of the water heater. It pulls heat out of your, obviously, best insulation for them is in a garage. And it's going to pull the heat out of your garage and use that to heat your water. So a standard water heater is roughly about $550 a year to run. These are about $160 a year to run.
Oh.
So you're going to save a few $100s a year on your electric bill. And it's like having a 12,000 BTU air conditioner for your garage. So, that shock you get when you
That's
walk out
cool.
into the garage and it's 120 degrees in there. that's gone. It keeps the humidity down in the garage for you. And, so they're really,
Cool.
really efficient.
I never knew that was a thing.
I think that that's going to be, well, it is going to be the way that everything's going. Their government's trying to mandate we have to get rid of electric tank type water heaters.
Would you put that in the side of a house too? Like it's okay for inside of a house
Yeah.
application?
Yeah, it is. Yep, it is okay
Oh.
for inside of a house. You just it depends on, you got to have enough space for it. So if you put it in like a real small closet, you got to have a louver door.
Right.
If not, it's got to have.
Well, and the new ones now, they just redesigned them. Now it's on like an 8-inch flex duct, like an air conditioner, and you can run it up at 300 feet. So you can pull your hot air from wherever you want. And you can say you've got an office or a home gym, you want the extra cold air going into, you can run a duct over there and put it right back into there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're changing the NECA regulations for.
The wheels are turning over here.
So many ideas.
But what I tell people is, for water heaters, and Jesse can attest to this, if you have the space and you have electric, you want to put in a heat pump water heater, because that is going to be the most efficient. If you're going to be in your house more than 3 years, it's going to pay for itself.
Mhm.
We only sell like the more upgraded version. It has like a smart anode rod, has a bunch of different features, but one of the reasons we like it the most is it has also a 10-year warranty. So, where standard water heaters are 6-year warranties. But it's just going to save you so much money. You're thinking, oh, this is like maybe having an air conditioner, maybe it's loud. It's not, too. It's like super, super quiet. The new one's like insanely quiet. You could duct it to a room. If you have a hot room and you want it to be colder, you can actually duct it to that room too. So there's a lot of really cool things that you can do with it. If you're limited with space, like you're in a condo, as long as you have the right, and then you're electric, you want to look more towards tankless, if you have a really small area. If it's gas, it doesn't matter. Gas tankless. I mean, you're just not gonna beat it. Propane or natural gas,
And one thing, just because it came across my mind and I didn't want to forget, when you walk into your office, you actually have almost like a showroom when you first come in. Can anybody just come in to look at that, or?
Anybody can come in, and like we have 2 air conditioners there, different brands. They're actually working air conditioners that expose, that run our office.
Okay.
Same thing with
I didn't
we have
know
a heat
that
pump
either.
water heater there. So if you want to look, touch, feel it, you have
It's
it
right there in your showroom.
Yeah, and with the heat pump too, it's really cool. I mean, everybody likes stuff, like we're talking about Alexa and all that stuff, but you can actually change. Say you were going on vacation, so you're not going to use the heater. You can put it on vacation mode. You can put it on hybrid mode. You can put it on electric only mode. Say like you're going to have 10 people over your house and they're going to take back-to-back showers. You can just put it on electric mode and it's just going to heat electric. So there's different backups and redundancies to that too.
Another nice feature with it is that the new ones have leak detection built right into them.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
So once it's connected to your phone, if the heater does start leaking, it's going to send you an alert right to your phone, and they make a valve for it that'll shut the heater down. You don't got to worry about it flooding your house all automatically. It'll just alert you that there was a leak and your system
All
is shut
this
down,
high-tech stuff.
that your house
Cool.
isn't flooding.
Mhm. Yeah, alert your phone. Hey, it's a leak.
Great.
Yeah, great, just what I want. At least you know.
I had no idea that was even a thing.
No.
Like I knew about the tankless. I knew about like there's I don't know what that looks like, but I know that there's when I show houses, there's always that blue like tank looking thing on top of it. It's like a pressure
Oh, the
valve.
expansion
Expansion
Yeah.
tank, yeah.
Yeah, I see
So
that
a
a
lot of people don't
lot.
know what that is. That don't know how to set it up. Maybe you want to.
Yeah.
That's what that does. That's going to extend the life of the heater. If you heat water from, say, our water's coming out of the ground at roughly 70 degrees. By the time you heat it to 120, it's like a 30% expansion on that water, which is what kills water heaters. Now they're expanding and contracting every time you deplete it. So the welds in the tank, they get bent back and forth with that expansion. So that tank will actually absorb that expansion, so you're not stressing the heater. And really, all the manufacturers now, if you don't have that, you void your warranty if you're on a closed loop, which just about everybody is now with these new digital water meters.
I don't have that at my house.
I know a guy.
Okay, I'll get the number. Yeah, because my house is going back to what you were saying about the old pipes. I mean, my house is very old. It's like from 68. So, backtracking again, my brain, sorry. When we were talking about the whole house system, the water softener, when someone calls you and says, hey, I need like a water filtration for my house, do you go out to the house? Do you test the water and recommend to them like what they should get, what they need, you know, and all of that?
As far as the water treatment stuff, we do free on-site water testing and estimates. It's hard for me to give you an accurate price, not seeing how the house, some houses are plumbed for softener, some are not. So if it's not, I need to see where we can legally drain it to. It's got to go into the sewer system. So we've got to make sure that there's accessibility to a drain nearby so we know what we've got to do. So there's no way for me to, I mean, I can give you probably a ballpark, but I don't know if it's going to be anywhere near accurate. It's easier for us to just send somebody out. They'll test the water. We have all of our systems custom built for us. It's not like something we're buying in a box. It's a company down in here in Odessa that builds them for us for our spec. And then we send a guy out, test the water, and make sure you're getting exactly what you want. We've got a couple of different systems, whether you're just trying to soften and condition the water, get the chlorine out.
Right.
We've got a few different ways to do it depending on what the customer wants.
Yes,
Okay.
especially with wells, like it has to be a fully custom system because this person's water could be totally different than a person a mile down the road.
Right.
So you really have to test the water. You got to see what's in the water so that you can create a custom system to eliminate any impurities.
Yeah, I have a lot of customers that are kind of afraid of well water
Mhm.
because, you know, people think that it's automatically going to smell or it's going to need XYZ
Mhm.
or, you know, there's like the sand or something that
Mhm.
you have to put a filter on the pump, I guess, or I don't know. That's your guys' you know, realm, but
Well, yeah, back in the day, you had to be like a water treatment plant administrator to work on all these systems. Nowadays, and Jessica talk about it, they're just so much easier to
Yeah,
maintain.
they've came a long ways from what they were back when I first started doing the water treatment stuff. Now, rather than using chlorine's not real stable. So you would set a system up and, you know, it's supposed to last a month, but at the end of the month, it's a quarter of the strength it was when you made the solution a month prior. So they were always real hard to keep regulated. Now we use hydrogen peroxide.
Mhm.
So rather than taking 20 minutes to clean the water, it does it in half a second.
Oh.
And obviously it's a much more stable product. And it's less equipment for the homeowner to have to buy a smaller footprint in the garage or wherever they're putting the units, and not as caustic to the equipment. So the equipment has a much longer life on it.
okay.
And we do a few different systems depending on, like Tanner said, what's in the water. We've got a few different options so that, because not everybody needs the same equipment.
Right.
You know, I mean, if you've got bacteria or something, well, yeah, you want to go with the peroxide. But if you've just got red water iron, now we do air injection. There's no monthly maintenance to it. You know, the unit just takes care of itself. So, you know, that's why we send the guys out, do the free on-site testing. That way you're getting exactly what you need and nothing more.
Okay.
Cool. Grady put in the website for
Who's this Grady guy?
I don't know.
Must be one
To
of
get some
Kayla's
more
friends.
information regarding that hybrid heat pump. So,
Mhm.
I mean, what information?
I
Pretty
want to
cool.
say real quick, and Jesse knows. So I built my last house. I didn't run soft water out to my dock, and I have a black boat. And it was just an absolute nightmare. So we actually had to go back, tear some of my ceiling up, run that loop all the way down the time. And you guys out there with boats and it's a nightmare.
Is
We
this
got
the new
water
house?
spots. Yeah, my old
Your old
house.
house.
I did it. My new house, I made sure I
You did
ran
that
it
first.
correctly.
You did that
Yeah.
first.
So you live and you learn for
Do
sure.
you remember who it was that you definitely want soft water out there?
I don't recall. I'm
No.
sorry.
Huh.
Who's
That
that
guy was really smart. I forget what his name
I
was.
don't remember that.
Man, I feel like we all kind of have a little bit of amnesia here, right?
That's true. Mhm.
All right, guys. Well, I think we are pretty much out of time.
Mm-hmm.
We've been good hour. Lots of good information. Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming. And how can they reach your office? If anybody needs anything.
727-863-5486, our main office number,
Okay.
or our website, rjkielty.com.
All right. Sounds good.
Now, just to recap on the two big events that are coming up, what
Mhm.
those dates are.
It's going to be October 7th for the Touch a Truck event, and it's going to be October 27th and 28th for the Halloween event.
Yeah, we'll put both events in the comments. So if anybody's interested, or all the information will be there.
Yes.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks
Cool.
for coming, guys. This was fun. I
That
know we
was
could sit
awesome.
here and talk forever about all this stuff,
We can.
but everybody has stuff to do. So
Well, we gotta go get your estimate together.
no,
Now we
definitely,
have work to do.
definitely. I'm gonna play that back to Mike and be like, see, this is why we need this. It checked
Mhm.
all the boxes. So
At least he doesn't have a black boat. It's really a black boat.
All right, guys. Well, thank you again so much for coming in, and we'll see
Yeah.
everybody next
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
All right.
Thank you.
Wait,
Bye-bye.
I was ready.
You didn't know?
Right again.
We should have all done it at the same
Yeah.
time.
We should have.
We're still
We're still
live.
on.
You
We're
gotta
still
get
going.
it.
Ready?
Yeah.